Hello and welcome, my name is Ark, and I'd like to introduce you through my playthrough of Tom Clancy's EndWar. Amazing game. Not going to go through the trainer though, because it doesn't work so well. Normal, because I haven't played it in forever. Really excited. I used to play this so much back on the Xbox.
Nuclear terrorism in Saudi Arabia killed 6 million.
Pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of an older game, and so some of you graphically, you know,
European missile shield goes
people
live.
that are obsessed with graphics, probably not gonna like this game unless you played it back when it first came out. It did look pretty good as it came out, but obviously over the years it's lost its luster, I guess you could say. It just doesn't look as good as modern games, but I'm fine with that. When I play a game way back and I come play it again, I don't care about the graphics. I'm coming back for the gameplay, obviously. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and get back in. I am going to get back into commentating, ramp it up. Got Rome 2 Total War coming out pretty soon. Well, don't know when, but sometime this year. So I'm gonna start making videos. Get into the, you know, grinding out them videos. Get my name out there before the game comes out. So might as well start off with such a classic, in my opinion.
Europa is under attack by forces
I'm just going through all the tutorials because, you know what, might as well, plus I have to, so I might as well drag you guys along with me. So the first mission, obviously, camera controls, moving around. What's the best unit to showcase that? A helicopter. The easiest unit to control in this game. You know, you don't have to go around barriers. You got high up field of view, which reminds me I might want to back up this camera at some point. Sure, I'll do it some other time, but so the first mission's pretty easy. First tutorial missions are actually incredibly easy. Just basically running through the basics. It's like a FPS shooter where you shoot dummy targets and I don't know, Call of Duty, however Call of Duty does it nowadays. Yeah, so I guess I could talk about these factions as they introduce each one. This one obviously is the Europa faction. Obviously, this is the Europa faction. You can see the nice blue colors. Their main focus is all about mobility. Mobility all the way. They're the fastest faction. And I think it might be also shields. I think it's fastness and shields is what their units are good at.
Unit 2 entering mission area.
So I mean, I like these guys, right? Their units look sick, but you know what? That's just me. I really love the engineer. That's just a personal preference. Is why I played Europa on the multiplayer was not because they were good. In fact, they were way outmatched in multiplayer by the other factions, which I'll explain as we go through the tutorials on why they are a little bit better than the Europa faction. But these guys are good on speed, they're good with shields. Obviously they're a little bit more high-tech than the other factions, high-tech looking at least, especially more than the Russian faction. But we'll go into the benefits of about Russia, of course, later when we get to there, because Russia was a very popular faction and for good reason. They were good. Anyway, let's get on. They blew up their boat. There's nothing really to talk about Europa. I mean, they got blue. They love blue camo, which I know of one of their really nice blue camo. That's what I always used in multiplayer. Basically, there's not much to talk about this mission. Killing these units. There's different types of winning in this game. One of the main easy ones in the beginning is hostile annihilation. Basically is you eliminate all the units on the field, and if they do not send anything in within 9 or 10 seconds or something like that, then you win. Alright, that's one way that you're able to win a match. Obviously, there is
Colonel Taylor.
other ways
Kennedy's
which
Space Center is under attack by unknown forces.
we'll probably get into. I'll probably talk about that later
Military hardware.
when we get the chance.
Colonel Taylor taking the helm.
This mission now, campaign mission number 2, shows us a different type of I don't call method, but game mechanic. Yeah, game mechanic
display shows how many reinforcements are available, as well as total remaining reserves.
Well, it's basically a triangle.
The number of reinforcements
You got
that can be
certain
airlifted
units
onto the field
engage
increases
certain
over time.
units best.
Unit 1 to engage hostile 1. Fastback IFVs will shred gunships.
You got gunships, right? Gunships are amazing. They're fast.
Hostile
You move
forces
around the
attacking from
field,
the
no
northeast
obstructions
and
pretty
northwest.
much, and some pretty decent firepower. These units are good against main battle tanks, right? They will just open up on a main battle tank and destroy it. As you see, when you hover, you got a plus. That means this unit is going to do damage to this other one. See the main battle tanks? These guys are good against transports. Transports are real weak, fast moving, but tanks, on the other hand, they are focused on.
The hostiles launched their attack from a cargo ship that ran aground
move
about
these
2 clicks north of
these
the
guys.
Space Center.
Tend to like using the chopper as a kind of mobile command in case I don't have a command center available, which we'll get into the other units when they show us. Right now we're just focusing on these guys. I told about the main battle tanks is pretty much armor and firepower. Then you got the transports. Transports are amazing. Being an infantry player myself, I tended to like these guys. They protected my infantry. They transported them across large battlefields real fast. And basically what you got is you got an autocannon on there. Of course, these things are probably not... These aren't Bradleys, so I mean, obviously I don't know what kind of cannon. I assume 25mm or something like that.
Schwarzkopf
But
tanks are more than a match for IFV transports.
these guys are real good at taking down choppers, and that's a good thing. So I think that pretty much covers the whole triangle. You know, basically you have a unit selected, say a chopper. Well, what is the chopper good against? You know, I hover over, they're sending transports at me, and there's a minus sign. Whoa, I ain't gonna go near that. I'm gonna get wrecked by that. But say you got some tanks, well, you know, you got plus. Then there's if you select transports, equals. All right, so it's a slugfest. You know, my units will be able to just beat on. You know, they'll just be able to hit each other, and basically whoever has more units or a certain special ability will be able to get an edge on the other guy. And that explains kind of the combat system of this game. It's pretty good. You see good. It's like 3 different roles, and of course there's the support roles and the infantry roles, which we'll be getting into a little bit later. Those, I mean, obviously let's see if I can blow up this thing. I don't know if I'll have enough time, but it makes a cool explosion. There's like little pieces like these, you know, no smoking things, liquid oxygen. There's all these tanks that you could just shoot and blow up. Ooh, I lost a tank. Ooh, see that would have just taken out any unit. That's gruesome. That is just immense power behind that. And that explosion basically knocks out any unit,
we knew, as in global.
any unit nearby. So basically, you get this second screen. I didn't really explain it in the first one, just because there wasn't much. But you got your battalion update, which we'll find out. We'll talk about battalions back when we actually get into the campaign, when they show it to us. But you got, obviously, you get awarded money for certain missions, and that you'll be able to use on your battalion command rating. It just tells you how good you were, and details, which, I mean, I guess if you're into that kind of stuff, I haven't been much for seeing how many kills certain units. I mean, yeah, certain games like the Total War series, I love seeing that. But you know, if you want to see that kind of stuff. So we're gonna move on. Oh, here's the combat chain. You got to see it for 1 second, but that's all right. 1 second is enough. So we got the Europa tanks. These things are kind of my favorite looking tanks. I mean, obviously I like the American tanks, just because, you know, I'm American, so gotta, you know, rep the home country. You can see all these guys running on the ground have FAMASs. They're the French, well, not French, but they're the Europa units, which in the campaign, which is really cool about, I love the campaign, is that if you're in a conquest mission or something like that, there'll be these guys that defend places, and they go and attack, and all kinds of cool stuff where, yeah, assault is, yeah, you gotta kill everybody. Let's see. Okay, let's move these guys, and let's move these guys here. Anyway, what was I saying again? I don't know. Oh, right. So you got these regular army guys. You can't tell them where to go, but they kind of, you know, help you fight a battle. They'll you know, have little skirmishes together, and it's pretty cool. I like the feature. It makes it more interesting. It doesn't make feel like you're the only one able to actually fight the battle. Is you got other guys coming at you. Where is this unit? Oh, they're dropping right on my head. All right, good to know. I'm gonna send my transports at their transports. Try and not get my units killed. I don't know why I called in a transport vehicle. I guess you can see the unupgraded version of that. Which the upgraded version is pretty cool looking. It has rocket pods, and of course, you know, the main upgrades for the transports. You got to get those. The upgrade system. I like this upgrade system. Like in multiplayer, you basically you have your battalion here, which I guess I'll already get into the battalion, but you get a battalion and you get to upgrade them, and the more they fight and the more they, you know, survive through battles, and they rank up, and you can get special abilities for them, you know, better armor, and it's really cool, and they have their own names, and so you kind of get attached to them. And I was real sad once I lost like a 3 chevron, like back in the beginning. I lost a 3 chevron engineer unit. I was so defeated that I had lost him. I can't remember his name now, but he was pretty cool. So I'm sure they're saying something very important in this game, but oh, there's the combat chain again. Nope, you can't see it anymore. And of course, we got the 4th mission. I almost said 3rd.
3 attacks have been confirmed.
The Siege of Dukovany. I butchered that. Where we get to introduce my favorite units. Infantry. Now the wonderful thing about infantry is they can hide in cover.
We need to put our combat engineers into cover,
and
Colonel, or they are useless and good as dead.
This cover, actually, I may want to back up to here. So, okay. So there's, right, well, we're getting introduced to siege mode, which I'll explain later, but infantry, so there's two different types of infantry, and my dogs will start barking. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but God, they're annoying. You got two different types of infantry. One, you got the engineers. All right, engineers are anti-vehicle. I don't want them to go way up there. Let's go right here. Alright, so engineers are anti-vehicle, right? Anti-vehicle, anti-aircraft, right? So you have your engineer squad, and they'll hold their own, right? Except for when they're not in cover, like these guys aren't, right? They're getting torn up by these choppers. But once you put infantry in cover, they will obliterate choppers. They'll just wreck them, kind of thing. And they're wonderful to fight with once they're in cover. Their shields don't go down as fast, and all that good stuff is you want to keep them in cover, basically, when you're fighting. When they're out in the open, they'll just get torn to pieces by tanks and transports and helicopters, but you put those engineers in cover, and they will fight for a long time until that cover is destroyed. And then, I don't know, I don't think you'll be introduced to the infantry, the other infantry role. The riflemen are... which there's also a second thing that has to do with the infantry roles, is the riflemen counter choppers, I think, really well. And let's see, it was choppers and engineers. They'll do some major damage to.
You heard about the other attacks,
wow, that was
Europe
gruesome.
Hit as well.
They'll counter engineers. Now you might be thinking, well, why would I want engineers over riflemen or riflemen over engineers? Well, that's a pretty valid question, and the thing is riflemen are able to capture points, and there's points like this right here. This is a siege mode, which means you have to protect the main point for as long as possible. Turn here. We don't really need to look at it. You need to defend it until the reinforcements arrive. When the reinforcements arrive, you'll see there's tanks. I mean, they'll just start streaming in tanks like crazy, and it's beautiful. But so yeah, siege mode is just basically like that. There's different types, but alright, what was I saying? Oh, okay, so riflemen are able to capture points much faster than engineers. You might be thinking, okay, well, why don't I just mass up on engineers and just counter with other units? Well, engineers are really good at upgrading. We'll get into different types of upgrades later on, like airstrikes and stuff. You can, because when you capture a place, after you capture it, you can upgrade it so that you say have a you can then call in airstrikes, or you can call in regular army units to fight alongside, and different stuff like that, which plus bonus. Yes, really excited about that kind of thing. Amazing. And they upgrade those things faster. And oh damn. Oh shit. Oh gosh. I'm losing men like crazy. What happened there? Uh oh. I don't know, I may lose the I may lose a tutorial mission here. But
engineers are not in cover, Colonel. Are you not paying attention?
I'm paying attention. Calm down. I'm explaining. Come on. Don't die on me here. Come on. Here we go. Alright. Now that I got my men to stop dying on me, I guess I can finish. And so it kind of brings that whole
cover where they will bleed less.
Yes, keep infantry in cover. I learned that lesson many times the hard way. I don't know why these guys are in cover, but they're out in the open, but I still get the bonus. So you got different types of cover, more destroyable. These are this cover over here. This is gonna get destroyed a lot easier. This stuff it's gonna take a lot more firepower, or you know that thing blows up and you know your entire units are destroyed, which brings me to I'm falling back all my units.
We have multiple engineer units exposed. No
I only
cover.
have one exposed, sir.
These clowns do believe in their cause, eh?
But for some reason, alright, I'm gonna put them in the center. Alright, they're being annoying. Right, so let's just move on to siege mode. Siege mode is it's really fun because you got one side that you cannot call in reinforcements until the reinforcements arrive. Which you might say, no, duh. Well, the reinforcements are, which well you'll find out in 30 seconds, quite the counter attack. As defenders, it is very difficult because the attackers can call in just like normal. But the defenders cannot bring in any reinforcements whatsoever until the regular army units show up. So, as you see right here, I'm allowed to call in units now because the reinforcements are out. I think, oh sweet, so you got all these allied tanks, right? That will just start pouring in. There'll be transports and all that good stuff, and they'll come in and just wipe the floor. I mean, they're just amazing firepower. I mean, yeah, you can fight it off, but if the attackers do not or are not able to capture the main point or to kill all units, they'll get demolished by me. Just look at how many tanks there are here. What is that, like T-72s or something? Can't tell. Probably like T-90s. I know the Americans have Abrams, and yeah, those are T-90s. I'm sure some off version of it, but I'm no Russian vehicle expert, so I mean, I don't know. So you get these guys, and you're able to call in a bunch of reinforcements, and basically there's this giant counter push to take them out. Yeah, we're mostly just waiting for these tanks to just shoot at each other for a while. Which these guys don't have shields, and so they'll get taken out a lot faster than your tanks will, and so they're a lot easier to engage. Regular army units are just, well, regular. There's nothing real special to them. They kind of just fight, kind of thing, and that kind of means that also not they're good at defending, but they're not as good as your units, and so you don't necessarily want to like focus completely on calling in regular army units, which most of the time you don't have the opportunity to. So I mean, it's not really, you know, which it costs these command points, which I haven't really explained that, but it's basically your money. You know, they slowly come back. Reserves, you see right here is the reserves, how many units you can actually bring back into the fight. I mean, you can't just keep calling in units. You only have a certain set number, and once that runs out, you can't call any more in. You lose all your men. You lose. And so that's that. Of course, this is the last unit, and I can't really send out anything. I should have probably bought some tanks. I probably would have ended this fight a little bit earlier, but you know what? I can enjoy the fireworks. Them just wailing on this one unit. Of course, the hostile annihilation, which you will get used to quite a bit if you're playing the campaign.
Acceptable losses.
You tend to kill your enemy before you
This is headquarters. I compliment
capture his bases.
military response to an attack.
So, I guess, oh, okay, so I'll show you this detailed thing, is, you get promotions, right? Of course, we don't have a battalion, and so we can't really have these, but these guys will be promoted, and we can call in, say, Fire Ant in the beginning of a match, or during the fight, and he will be a corporal rank, 2 chevrons, and, you know, certain upgrades apply to ranks that are higher. So, I mean, if you get a 3 chevron rank, but you have a 2 chevron unit, he can't use that upgrade. But once he hits 3 chevrons, you know, he's going to be rock and rolling. You got awards, just, you know, ratings, and you get more money for certain, you know, you get money for victories, base compensation, territory bonuses, and ratings. So the better you do, the higher the rating, your money. And of course, you know, you got the units killed and all that kind of different stuff, funds, and obviously the terrorists didn't get much money after losing. So that's number 4. I think we're moving on to 5, which is the 5th out of 7.
What citizens want to know is who was behind the April 4th attacks.
All 3 governments